31 veterans were chosen for a special event that may change their life. All they have to do is sit down and take notes on some of the best speakers from around the area.
It's a taxi service, but not the kind you're used to. With a touch of a button on your smartphone, Uber allows you to have a choice of 4 different types of cars that can be at your location in minutes. When student athletes find time to volunteer in the community, they can do so by joining a soup kitchen, an elementary school, or even a humane society. ISO puts on a lot of events for international students. One of these events is the International World Cup, which keeps these students from feeling out of place. All seniors have to do is apply to graduate on student self-services and buy their cap and gown. The worst part about all this is that once you graduate, the piece of paper can only do so much. You have to find a job. The University of Oklahoma hosted the 2015 Special Winter Olympic Games, where coaches, fans, and teammates cheered on every player's special moment. According to the University of Pittsburgh, more than 300,000 U.S. athletes a year are experiencing concussion symptoms. Concussions have always been a serious problem in sports, but with technological advances, we now have an idea on how dangerous a concussion can truly be. A light head-to-head collision in football is similar to getting in a 30-mile-an-hour wreck in this truck. Vale Jean Ivan helps athletes understand the severity of concussions and its symptoms.
Is it simply when somebody gets knocked out and loses consciousness? Absolutely not. Is it simply as mild as, well, I have a headache after I've had a collision? Possibly. But there's obviously a lot in between that we have to think about. Sports medicine is striving to learn even more about the causes of concussions and how to prevent them. Any sport or activity can result in a concussion, and recovering from one, like Melissa Givens did, can be troublesome.
Brain rest, you're not able to do anything, you just kind of lay around, like you weren't allowed to use the TV, not supposed to read very much, so doing homework was really hard because can't get on my laptop or anything.
To ensure that concussions are handled with greater care, the Big 12 implemented a new policy to help aid players from long-term damage.
And really what it does is it just kind of empowers the medical staff, and it eliminates any confusion with the coaching staff to make that call, make that decision, put those people in the line of recognition and treatment and prevention the best we can.
Concussions will continue to have an effect on athletes, but treatments will help soften the blow in the future. For O State TV, I'm Reese Van Haaften. The Student Union hosted the 15th annual Salsa Ball, where students went up these stairs and salsa like this. This isn't the salsa you eat. It's actually a little spicier. Salsa dancing is a mix of Cuban rhythms, jazz, rock, and soul music. This upbeat music made the Salsa Ball an event that every age and culture felt comfortable coming to.
The Salsa Ball essentially is just a night where all of us can get together, dress up, have a good time, and just really soak in and absorb Latin culture.
Hundreds of people showed up to the Student Union Ballroom to enjoy this form of Latin dancing. CJ Coe, the Salsa Ball founder, is glad all the hard work paid off, and he wants the Salsa Ball legacy to continue.
Back then, really, my friends and I were just having a good time, but to see it 15 years later, that is still going on, is really very humbling as my legacy. My dream is that someday my great-grandkids will still be doing this.
Bad at dancing? No problem.
Salsa Ball is really fun, and it connects people together because even if you don't know how to dance, there are a lot of people who can help you.
There was even a live band to help keep the music flowing and the feet moving. If you missed out on this year's event, there's always next year. For O State TV, I'm Reese Van Haaften. Students want it, professors dread it. But what exactly is a snow day? Director of Facilities Management Rick Krishak explains what goes into deciding if it's a snow day.
We'll take a look at what's planned for the day, how much progress we've made, and kind of make a risk assessment on whether or not we should open.
Although Krishak errs on the safe side, sometimes nature doesn't cooperate. 2 years ago, the official forecast called for a blizzard to impact Stillwater. OSU canceled class, but by the next morning, there was no snow on the ground. On the other hand, if OSU doesn't err on the side of caution, traveling students would have a challenge getting to campus.
Not that many people live on campus, so a lot of people are driving here. It was scary. Like, if your car can't brake and you're just sliding everywhere, yeah, it's pretty dangerous.
Not only is driving tough in this winter weather, but if the sidewalks aren't salted, walking can be a challenge in itself. This is why OSU puts the extra effort in to make campus as safe as possible.
It's very hard for us to operate with vehicles in parking lots, cars parked on streets. The more clear the campus is, the more efficient we are at clearing whatever material we're dealing with. So what we'll end up doing is bringing in our forces.
Krishak and the physical plant note to always have the forces ready in this unpredictable Oklahoma weather. For O State TV, I'm Reese Van Haaften.